Yo, what's going on, everybody? That's right. The Boxing Source Podcast is here. It's live, and we are here on March 10th, 2024. We got a number of topics to go through and talk about. We want to get your reactions to what's going on here in the boxing world. Big ups for everybody here that is joining here live. And if you can, hit the like button and hit the share button to other boxing fans that would like to enjoy this content here on the Boxing Source. We got a number of things, like I said, that we're going to be talking about. We want to follow up with what happened on Friday night. We had, of course, the little news that hit the news waves pretty much with the event that happened in Saudi Arabia, Knockout Chaos. Of course, the fight card that was there in Saudi Arabia, and the result of Anthony Joshua just taking care of business and taking out Francis Ngannou within 2 rounds. He didn't play around with him at all. He did not play around with him. And for those that tuned in on Friday, we had like a real big discussion in reference to that particular fight. We're going to touch on that a little bit more, plus some other things that have come up after this particular bout. Want to go over the financials of the 2 fighters pretty much, and also what could be next out there for both of those fighters in Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou, because it made for a number of questions on both sides as far as like what could be next for either of them. But for me, I kind of like touched on it on Friday in reference to Anthony Joshua, and then a little bit there with Francis Ngannou. But given the circumstances and given how much these guys have been paid, one of them, at least one of those guys, may have second thoughts about pursuing a certain path. You know what I mean? But with Joshua handling business, he just, did what Tyson Fury was supposed to do. Tyson Fury was supposed to, take him to school, as supposedly he said to Francis Ngannou before their fight. So about he would be the professor. And, of course, after that fight, you had that quote from Francis Ngannou after he knocked down Tyson Fury. He said, "You're a bad professor, motherfucker." But at least here, Joshua just said, "You know what? I've been in this game for a long time. I've been a 2-time unified heavyweight champion. I've faced the best of the best out there in the heavyweight division. Never really, took that many tune-up fights after he initially won the first title there against Charles Martin, the IBF title. Pretty much years ago. What has it been like? Almost 8 years ago? Yeah, that's crazy. But given those fights that he had there against Alexander Usyk, and then the 3 fights last year, I think those 3 fights that Anthony Joshua had last year were really key in how he's been able to sharpen himself as far as like being a complete and more fluent in his offense and defense and switching things around. And that was big for him there in this bout against Francis Ngannou. He didn't play around with him at all. He didn't really, play around with him at all. You've seen that in the first round, in the very first round there, where Anthony Joshua was able to score that knockdown on Francis Ngannou. And the thing about it was like, people was talking about, Ngannou, was out there. He's, hardest, one of the hardest punches out in combat sports, but also, had like best chins in combat sports or whatever it is. And right off, it was like right within the first 2 minutes, Anthony Joshua was able to test that chin and put Ngannou down to the canvas right in the first round. And when he did that, that pretty much, I felt like that surprised Ngannou that he was put down by that particular shot. And, after that, it was like Anthony Joshua was just being patient, just seeing what was opening there for him, and not really got to the point where he would be, overly excited or overly aggressive in that particular bout. So it wouldn't end up being like how you had that first fight with Andy Ruiz Jr., where he scored a knockdown against Andy Ruiz. Then he tried to get in close to, finish off the fighter. But Andy Ruiz was able to, score in a combination and affect Anthony Joshua and put him down to the canvas. And you all see what's going on with that. So my thing about it is Anthony Joshua just handling business, showing that he's, one of the top fighters out there in the heavyweight division, and not getting it to the point to where, how Tyson Fury had it, where it was like fairly close after, 5 rounds or whatever it is, 5-6 rounds. But by the tail end of that particular fight, you've seen Tyson Fury have a little bit more success, but it was still something where you had Tyson Fury at his level. He's supposed to be, the WBC heavyweight champion. He's supposed to be the guy that is, quote unquote, the number one fighter in the heavyweight division, and yet had a split decision against, or whatever it was, against Francis Ngannou, So here, Anthony Joshua left no doubts about it. And, with that being said, now it's more about Anthony Joshua saying, I'm moving forward, trying to continue my career at this particular point, and, just get things done in order to try to become, first, a 3-time, world champion, or pretty much, try to get there to be undisputed. So, we'll see, how things go in reference to that. I'm saying that, we might just end up having the fight with Anthony Joshua and Filip Hrgović, with Filip Hrgović being the number one contender currently there in the IBF. And, we got to see what's going to go down on May 18th with Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. That's supposed to be for undisputed in a heavyweight division. And, after that, then we see what happens with the IBF. Of course, the IBF, how they handle things when it comes to mandatory challengers. And we've seen them strip heavyweight champions before. We've seen them strip middleweight champions before. And just recently, we've seen them strip a welterweight champion in Terrence Crawford, after Terrence Crawford became undisputed in welterweight. So that could mean that if Joshua, faces Filip Hrgović, it could possibly be for the IBF heavyweight championship, depending on when that does take place. You could have it to the point where, Fury and Usyk fight on May 18th. And then after that, the IBF could say a few weeks later, hey, we're going to strip the winner of that belt. Y'all could go ahead and have the rematch, but we're stripping all of the title. Y'all have, the status of saying, okay, I was the undisputed heavyweight champion, first 4-belt undisputed heavyweight champion. But after that, hey, we want to take that belt, because if you're not going to fight Filip Hrgović, all right, cool. We'll have Filip Hrgović fight Anthony Joshua, and that could be for the vacant IBF title. They'll be able to get money off that. They'll be able to get good money off that. Hey, maybe more money than they get from the winner of Fury versus Usyk. Who knows? But that would kind of like be the situation out there for the heavyweight division, or at least the top of the heavyweight division there with like I said, Fury versus Usyk, and then potentially Joshua there against Filip Hrgović down the line. And then for Francis Ngannou, man, folks are talking about, oh, he's improved, ever since his fight with Tyson Fury. Oh, he's done a whole lot of things there, that he's been in with camp, and all of that. You just seen a couple of things that were like basic mistakes there against Anthony Joshua. Dewey Cooper, was out there and that has been in the corner there for Francis Ngannou, preparing them for those fights against Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. You also had, Mike Tyson helping there a little bit there for Francis Ngannou, but you can have Mike Tyson, you can have Dewey Cooper, you could have, some of the other better trainers out there in the sport. But if you don't have those basics all the way down pat, you're going to be food for pretty much like any type of fighter or boxer that has those type of skills. So that one was just a real easy night there for Anthony Joshua. And props to Francis Ngannou. He was able to fight two of the top 3 or 4 fighters out there in the heavyweight division in his first 2 professional fights. And he got paid handsomely for it. So he, within those 2 fights with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, he got paid a total about $35 million. Or what is it, about $35 million or like $30 million. It said around $30 million. So he pulled about $10 million for the Fury fight and $20 million there against Anthony Joshua. And he said it was showing with those 2 fights that he's had in boxing, he's had $30 million. He's earned $30 million in 2 boxing fights. In his entire career in UFC, $3.5 million. 14 fights, $3.5 million. So, hey, man, I know that, some folks may say that Ngannou might go back to UFC, whatever it is, but, hey, if he could just make even, maybe back to $10 million in another boxing match, he'd probably do that. Folks are still saying, hey, he could still face Deontay Wilder or Derek Chisora or Dylan White or somebody like that. If you still have those suggested bouts out there, then you could still have a demand for Francis Ngannou to be out there in the ring, in the boxing ring instead of the octagon. But, for me, I say, what? Ngannou should go ahead and just say, what would be the best thing for me to do here to be set financially? Look at that. Like I said, you having like $30 million off of 2 pro fights, $30 million off 2 pro fights, and that is almost 10 times the amount that you got in your entire career as an MMA fighter. That's pretty much like easy pickings right there. Easy pickings, So for Francis Ngannou, if he goes ahead and continues his career in boxing, don't be surprised one bit about that. Don't be surprised if he does that. While there might be some advertising bouts or matches there in MMA for Francis Ngannou, then if the money ain't right, he's going to be like, nah, I'm good off that. Like, once you taste that you got $20 million off of this last fight, off of pretty much less than 6 minutes of action, nah, like going into the octagon and doing all that for like chump change, basically, nah, that probably wouldn't be a good look there for Ngannou. So, I would like to see if he just continues his career in boxing, if he feels like he could, continue that there. And, we still have some things that he's going to consider or contemplate before he, goes ahead and moves on with his combat sports career, whether it's in MMA or in boxing. Now, back to Anthony Joshua, though, right? He, some folks have said, hey, maybe this has been, the best Anthony Joshua that we've seen in his professional career. But it all goes back to, him being very active in the ring. Like I said, 3 fights in 2023 after just having that one fight that was a rematch against Alexander Usyk in 2022. And so, with that being said, he's looking sharper and sharper and sharper in each fight that he's having. He's spending more time there with Ben Davison as his lead trainer. He said after this fight that he's gonna kind of enjoy being out there in Saudi Arabia for as long as he could be there, and then get right back over to the UK and get right back into the gym. Like Anthony Joshua just said, you know what? Me being in the gym after a win, sharpening my skills, makes him, a very, very good, very, very dangerous fighter for anybody that's out there. And so he's like saying, you know what? I'm gonna just stay sharp, not really rest all too much, and get back in the gym. So that's why he's kind of pushing for having his next fight being in June. If he's able to pull that off, that would be, crazy that he would have like 5 fights within 15 to 16 months. And that's, after being like a unified, 2-time unified world champ. You don't see, like these days, we don't be seeing, fighters of that nature having that many fights, or being in the ring that often. And so for Anthony Joshua to get that, if he's able to pull that off, that would be really, really good there to kind of like say, hey, you know what? If Joshua keeps building himself up like this, he could have a continued career where he would kind of establish himself as one of those guys in the heavyweight division that could be, there amongst those all-time greats. I think that's what he's building himself towards, is being one of those all-time great heavyweights. And we know that, basically the end game for him, to me, is a fight with Tyson Fury. And, he's going to, have an eye on Fury versus Usyk on May 18th. And then after that, we'll see what happens with a rematch, if a rematch does take place or not. But after that, maybe in 2025, you can see Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. That could potentially be for the undisputed heavyweight championship. And I think that would be the biggest fight out there in the heavyweight division right now. I know that some people are still interested in Joshua versus Wilder. First, we got to see where Wilder is at this particular point. Of course, he had the loss to Joseph Parker, where it was a wide decision win for Joseph Parker, and where, Deontay Wilder really ain't do that much at all. So we got to see if Wilder will be able to come back and have a couple of fights first before going up against Anthony Joshua. But until then, Wilder's just going to be out there riding the pine and trying to figure out if he's going to get, enough money for that. But we're going to continue on here with the discussion. We got, from Three Kings Boxing, of course, our guest has been on here that, says that Wilder sucks. It's Lord Zoe in the building, man. What's happening with you?
What's up? And yes, you're correct in that last statement. Wilder do suck.
Oh, man. But yeah, I'm continuing that conversation there with the Joshua and Ngannou joint. I'm leaning towards Joshua fighting Filip Hrgović next.
Me too.
Yeah, all signs lead to that. It just depends on when it's going to be. I think if they kind of like wait a little bit and then have it for July or like late July, early August, it could be for the IBF title.
I take it back. The fight happens. You fight Filip Hrgović next if Usyk beats Tyson Fury. If Tyson Fury wins, I think they got to do that mega fight.
Man,
I don't think Tyson Fury is gonna win. By the way.
Oh, you don't think he's gonna beat Usyk?
Nah, I don't think he's gonna be Usyk.
Okay. So that's gonna be more. We're gonna get more into that here in the next couple of months when that fight is closer to taking place. And like I was saying before, man, you got Turkey Al-Sheikh that's keeping. He probably got like one of those. He probably put an ankle bracelet on Tyson Fury to make sure nothing crazy happens to Tyson Fury.
Because that boy's in shape and everything.
Yeah, he's in shape and all that. Like you even seen that like when he was watching this fight between Joshua and Ngannou. So he's really there. He's really sharp and trying to get himself prepped for this fight against Alexander Usyk. Also to continue the conversation, of course, the guy that thinks that Joshua questions himself is the boxing academic. What's happening with you?
What's going on, fellas?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
Not much.
Yeah, what's happening? What's happening? Hey, man, shout out to D for the win on here in the live discussion, man. What's going on there with you? I was just going into more about what could happen for both of these fighters, Joshua and Ngannou. I said the whole little thing with the financials for Ngannou, $20 million or $30 million for 2 fights in boxing, in comparison to $3.5 million in his entire career at MMA.
Scam. He been getting scammed.
Yeah, but hey, that's
the market.
UFC.
Yeah, that's the market. So
these fighters are getting robbed, man. These fighters are getting robbed. Between Dana White and Vince McMahon, I don't know who robbed they for. They performance worse, bro.
Some will probably say Dana White. What you gonna say, Boxing Academic?
Well, I want to say 2 things. Fighters may be getting robbed in the MMA, but fighters are at some point. Fighters were getting overpaid in boxing. They were getting vastly overpaid in boxing. Not saying that they couldn't command those numbers, but it was one point where the budgets that they were commanding, it didn't leave a lot of room for other people. But what I was gonna say was, I went back and watched the Joshua fight, all 2 rounds of it, and
Me too.
I'm a man who can change his opinion if he sees information that changes his opinion.
Okay.
And I don't think Joshua questioned himself. I think Joshua was being patient. But what I did see was Francis Ngannou, again, being very responsive and, landing quite a few shots in the first 2 minutes of the round. And then the last minute of the round, right at the start of the last minute, he turns southpaw, and then he just kind of freezes. And then Anthony Joshua light him up. And then from that point, Anthony Joshua made him follow him. And then Joshua would counter him in a sense. Joshua countered him. At least that second knockout, he countered him. And then the third knockout, he just was not all the way there. And Joshua was like, oh, he gonna sit there like a deer in the headlights. And Joshua just blasted him. So Joshua didn't question himself. He just was being patient.
Academic, I rewatched the fight. This is what I felt. From the first 5 seconds of the fight, Anthony Joshua's conditioning him. They keep trying to parry the jab to the body, and he kept on catching with level change. If you watch from the 5 seconds, you see he was trying to set up the overhand right while doing the level changes, and that's exactly what he knocked him down with every single fucking time. Even the last knockdown when he got out, when he knocked him out officially, you still see him do the level change to make him dip, and he just came over the top. He's dropped him every time with that. He was setting it up, and that just shows you how poor of a boxer Ngannou was, because it doesn't take a minute and 30 seconds of round 1 for you to condition somebody for a trap and you do it successfully. That just
or to set up for a trap. And I mean, that's why, before y'all got on here, I said, Dewey Cooper, yeah, I'm sorry, Dewey, but you ain't do a good job on this one, man. Folks is, giving him a little bit of credit or something like that for preparing Francis Ngannou for that first fight against Tyson Fury. But, like I said, with fighters that, are sharp and can really do different things and kind of stick to it, then Ngannou shouldn't have any type of chance against them. You know what I mean?
Styles make fights. Styles make fights. So, I mean.
And another thing, when you're as responsive after every punch like Ngannou is, but at the same time, you don't have any boxing IQ, that's a recipe to get set up for something.
No, you're right. You're right. That is.
It's like either you kind of like you have like a reaction to that where it's like you want to defend and just be way concerned about defending instead of being confident about either trying to do something where you could just step back or try to get distance. Because the thing with Francis Ngannou was even though he was a shorter fighter, he has like an extremely long reach with the arm, the wingspan, right? So he's supposed to have like a little bit of a longer reach than Anthony Joshua, but you didn't really see something where he kind of like utilized that in from an offensive or defensive perspective.
What he did in the first 2 minutes, that's what gave him success. In the first 2 minutes, he was using his feet a little bit to step back from the shots Joshua was throwing, and that's when he counted Joshua. But then Joshua, once he changed and then knocked him down, all that went out the window, and then he stopped like taking step back. He stopped moving. He stopped doing whatever he was doing.
He got shell shocked. Actually, that's what I was saying. Like when that first knockdown happened, he pretty much got shell shocked.
I won't say that because he almost landed something really big, like 30 seconds later, Andrew Ruiz style. Remember, he clipped Joshua over the head after that when Joshua went after him in the first round a little bit. But I wouldn't say he was shell shocked. But what I would say, as much as I like to talk shit about referees for stopping fights early, when you're a novice boxer who don't have any boxing experience, after that second knockdown, as confused as he looked, there wasn't no reason to let him get up and get knocked down the third time. He's a novice that don't know how to defend himself, and he's confused against the third best heavyweight in the world. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, you kind of have that in a sense with a number of referees, but sometimes I think with Ricky Gonzalez, who was the referee for this fight, he's like an American referee. Usually they don't kind of like stop fights or wave fights like that. But with that being said, this is the same Ricky Gonzalez that, man, he was out there for the Tiger Johnson fight that I was at last month. But he's based in New York. He's based in New York. And the thing with New York is they had the whole thing there where, they're kind of leery as far as like stopping fights. And we've seen that with
niggas get hurt and die and shit.
You're right. You got that. So that's why you had that last thing that got stopped with like 7 seconds left in the 12th round with the Komatov versus Ford, But here, Ricky Gonzalez, after that second knockdown happened, he, just counted and then, allowed Francis Ngannou to get back up. And that just set up the moment that, we all saw.
And in hindsight, we see what it was. Like the look was exactly what it was. He wasn't all the way there, and then just was kind of like a deer in the headlights in a sense. But you don't really know that until we see the outcome where he tried to make a move to block a shot, but he's cognizant enough to where he tried to block a shot. But even now, he's so more compromised to where his lack of defensive ability,
his resistance.
Yes, his resistance, his lack of defensive ability is that much more poor. Like he tried to like parry the shot, he missed it. But even if he would have like got in front of the shot, Joshua still would have landed a pretty clean shot on him, because that wouldn't have blocked anything. That wasn't gonna block Joshua's arm.
But also on the thing with the referee there, Ricky Gonzalez, kind of like allowing Ngannou to get up from that first knockdown in the second round. Like, I guess if he didn't do that, then maybe, you don't get the moment, because it's like people now, or people ever since, that thing on Friday, are reacting to that moment, that one shot ender.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's also, another part of it.
Yeah, I think he did the right thing by letting it go, because there would have been controversy. He'd have been, I still can fight. He definitely.
You also do have those type of moments. Yeah. Because how sometimes you have these fights that get stopped early, and you see the fighters be like, what are you talking about? I'm still here. What are you doing?
Man, I would have stopped the fight for the simple fact that you got hit with 5 headshots and went down on 3 of them. Nigga, like he ain't even opened up double-digit headshots yet, nigga. You went down 3 times, bro. There's no business to let that fight go on, bro.
But shit, of them 5 shots, he probably got hit clean 5 times or 4 times. Like he got hit clean with every shot.
If they had it like like MMA rules, he probably would have waited off the fight.
Yo, man. That just show you how poor MMA guys are at fucking throwing punches, bro. It's very poor technique, man. They don't hurt people, man. Them little ass gloves. Think about it. Floyd fought McGregor at 154, but they didn't even wear the gloves that's assigned to 154 because he ain't respect the nigga's power, dog. Like, man, these UFC cats, man, they, like I said, you could spend 30 years of your entire life smoking crack, quick, train for 3 months, and join the UFC, and you'll be a top 10 contender.
I think like somebody had like posted something in reference to a like a novice type of fighter in UFC that was able to win a I guess a significant fight of sorts or whatever. So
Yeah,
The
man.
thing is that I don't accept that, Zoe, is because boxing is my favorite martial art, but MMA is so much more complex in that you can get choked out, you can get kicked in the face, you can get elbowed in the face, you can get choked out, you can get pounded on the ground. It's a lot of ways somebody can like kick your ass in MMA.
I hear you, but I also felt like if you took Terrence Crawford and you dropped him on MMA, whatever weight class you would be in, he'll destroy everybody because he's a world-class wrestler, and none of these niggas can take punches, especially with these small. And then another thing I'll be realizing, like, you know how people say you can't put boxers in the MMA? I'd say situationally they can beat some niggas. If you put a boxer against a nigga who's going to stand up, like, do you realize how small these gloves are? You feel me? And you know how accurate boxers are with big-ass gloves, and they still can find holes behind the guard. You get tough, you expect, man, they're going to kill you. They're going to fucking kill you. And we've seen it before. Ray Mercer, Tim Sylvia. Ray Mercer was 97 years old. Ray Mercer was a couple fights removed from being heavyweight champion of the UFC. How long did that fight last? They made an agreement in the back that Tim Sylvia can't throw no kicks or wrestle. First second of the fight, Tim Sylvia kicked him. Ray Mercer got mad because he broke the agreement and knocked his ass out. Like, you feel me? Like, they always gonna bring up the James Toney shit. Cool. Bring up the Ray Mercer shit too. Facts.
yeah.
Hey, so I agree with you. The only thing I will say, yes, if you get somebody who predominantly is a striker, they're gonna get their ass whooped. This is funny. But if you get somebody who like is a grappler, then that shit ain't gonna they always predominantly get beat.
I agree, but all I'm saying is a boxer has more chance of being successful on UFC because he can get matched up against a striker. Them mixed martial art guys got no shot at beating me. We're not even talking world class. The only time they can beat somebody is 96 years old like Holyfield, or abuse drugs like Julio Cesar Chavez. That's it. Mm-hmm. Or Tyson Fury, who was abusing drugs. Obviously, it's very obvious he rolled out the bar off a line of coke when he went an hour before the Ngannou fight. That's clearly obvious to everybody now.
Man, yeah, I mean that. I guess it goes back to what the guys were saying here loud. Man, they said like how poor Tyson Fury is, or was before that fight against Ngannou. Man, like he was supposed to school him, and
supposed to school him, man.
And he ends up getting hit, with the counter punch. It knocks him down.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Wilder versus Ngannou. I want to see Wilder end this guy's life.
You got faith in Wilder to knock him out?
Bro, Wilder boxing, even no matter how garbage of a boxer he is, it's still MMA, bro. It's still fucking MMA, bro. Like, I would never disrespect Wilder knocks him out the first punch he lands. It don't even have to be a good landed shot, bro. He'll I want to see that. As long as Wilder don't let Ngannou to grab a hold of him and dirty box him all night and maul him, he'll knock this guy out the first. And even then, all Wilder needs is literally one.
Yeah, and hey, look, like I said before, all it would take is like another $10 million or $5 million for that fight for Ngannou, and he will probably take it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a whole lot more than the biggest fights that he's had in MMA. So
that's what I want to see. I want to see Wilder knock out Ngannou, and then challenge Anthony Joshua 2026 for the IBF championship.
We'll see. Like, people are still saying that they want to see Joshua versus Wilder, man. And even though what is it? Wilder is like how old now? 37.
That's it.
Wilder got to be active if he gonna take that fight, because I just
Ngannou to take Ngannou?
No,
38.
Joshua.
38.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I love Wilder. Wilder, my boy. You know what I'm saying? I support Wilder. But he can't go in there with the last 2-3, maybe not the Tyson Fury performance, because he outside of his endurance. So I'm gonna say that he can't go in there with the same endurance / performances that he went in there and expect to beat Joshua.
All you have to,
Because Joshua, to me, is going back to the basics. Joshua is using his jab. Joshua's moving around. He throwing shots when he need to throw shots. That's a tough Joshua to beat. I
what
can't.
another thing is, yeah, keep going.
I can't deny that. That's a tough Joshua to beat. A Joshua that's jabbing, a Joshua that's starting to believe in himself again. If Wilder go in there and he compromised with his win because he ain't been in the boxing ring to get that, like, in-game action, if he compromised because he ain't used to throwing accurate shots like he normally throw, if he go in there compromised because he ain't even throwing his jab and ain't used to just throwing shots, it ain't no way he can win. He can't win because if he ain't throwing shots, he can't win if he's not as accurate as he always is. Like the accuracy where my Haitian guy with his hands up, and
The
that was
Canadian
a
guy, the Canadian guy,
Canadian Haitian.
Canadian guy, French Canadian at that.
Okay, but it was a small target that he had to hit through that guard, and it was like just a knife sort of like punch. He can't win unless he go in there sharp, and I hope he don't accept nothing like that until he is sharp.
Listen,
But maybe he only got a few more fights left, so I don't know.
all they gotta do at Wilder is match him up like how you was matching him up before Ortiz. You gotta put him in there with a Ngannou. Grab him with that bum ass nigga who just lost 5 fights in a row. That Polish nigga that MVO was hyping up. What's his name again?
Oh, God damn.
Cowabunga.
Yeah, Kaunaki.
Kaunaki.
Yeah, then have Wilder knock this guy, into the next century, and then just make Wilder get 3 fights in 2025 to get him back sharp. But another point I want to make: Anthony Joshua, to me, had the kind of same issue David Berlanga got. Anthony Joshua's shit was just was more magnified because he was bigger business. What I mean by that is Berlanga didn't get a chance to develop because he got the 60-0, 60 knockout and became somewhat of decent business. So because he's decent business, they start putting him in, he's not as active as he was. You feel me? Because he's in a higher money fight, not big money fight, but higher level fight. So he's not getting as much fight. The same thing happened to Anthony Joshua. His development got stunted because he became big business that they had to put him in a title fight right away. You feel me? They put him in Klitschko right away. He did not get to develop. At one point, he's fighting once a year. You feel me? He's not developing. Now, since the Usyk fight, you see him getting better because he's back to how his schedule was before he became champion. Now you see he's working on his game. He's getting better and better in fights. So now he got a chance to correct it, even though he's like, 33, 34 now. You feel me?
Yeah, 34,
I do feel like they stunted his growth because they threw him in the title shot too early, even though he won. They threw him in there too early.
And I agree, which is why I was favoring him to fight Wilder earlier, and Wilder would have knocked him out, at some point earlier.
Nah. There's never a point from the time Anthony Joshua beat Dillian White the first time. There was never one point I said Wilder beats this guy. There was never one point I said.
That's just because Wilder took some girl that you saw in the club that you wanted.
Okay, but yeah, like
no, that's not this. Is not this again?
I think because I never see like I'd be asking people like, what performance did Wilder have that had you like, yeah, he beats Joshua?
Stavern, Tyson Fury 1.
Jay, I see your face, man. I see your face.
Tyson Fury 1.
That nigga gets destroyed. Show.
Nah, that Tyson, that first Tyson Fury fight, that should have been where Wilder should have really kind of made a statement against Fury, because this is Fury coming off of 2 fights against Sefer Safari and that Francisco guy.
And it wasn't good performances.
Yeah. And those were like gimme fights for Tyson Fury, and he still didn't wasn't very impressive against that.
He knocked the man down twice. What else you want from him?
Win the fight.
I mean, shit. Had the man spirit of the count counted just a little bit faster, the spirit of the count would have been 10.
I think that performance, like I gave Wilder the 2 knockdown rounds, and that was it. I hear some people gave Wilder round 1, and I watched that fight plenty of time to see what the fuck they talking about.
Man, I'm gonna go and find my scorecard. I'm gonna jump off.
I don't know. I remember, like, I think we tried to go over that fight once before on this channel.
We did.
Right.
Yeah. Because JR, the people I hear that gave Wilder the first couple of rounds, the reason they give it is be like some arbitrary shit, like you gotta take it from the champ. Like, it's something I did. Did he win the round or not? You feel me? That's stupid. That's what niggas say when they know the guy they rooting for lost a round, but but nothing enough happened so they can make, oh, he's the champion. So nigga.
You ain't never heard me say that shit. I'd say he won because he won.
I'm just saying, most people, like, we have a criteria. We have a boxing criteria. None of the criteria says take it from the champ. You feel me? None of the fucking 3 criteria from the judges say take it from the champ. Man, you just go out there and do your goddamn job. And for the first 7-8 rounds of that fight was a battle of jabs, and he did not out jab Fury. That's just to tell you the whole thing. It was a battle of jabs. He did not out jab Fury. Plain and simple.
You know, it's that was just something there that, like, I think people will, like, debate, those first few rounds, big time, man. What did it say? It's 71. Was this the first joint? I think this is the first joint. They said 71 punches landed for Wilder and 84 punches landed for Fury in that first fight. Yep.
Horrible fight to watch outside the knockdowns. It wasn't a fun fight to watch, bro.
Are you ready? You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? Zoe, you ready?
I'm ready.
I think this is the right fight. Hold on. Round 1. 10-9 Wilder.
Okay,
Wilder,
hear it no more.
Wilder throwing his jab and controlling the action of fight. Round 2. 10-9 Wilder. Wilder throwing his jab and controlling the action of the fight. Maybe on Facebook I put more. Round 3, 9-10 Fury. Wilder throwing his jab less and had less control how the fight went. Round 4 I had 10-10. Round 5, 10-9 Wilder. Wilder is chasing Fury and moving, not really throwing, but no significant punches landed by Fury. Round 6, 10-9 Fury. Wilder let Fury lull him and land arid punches during the breaks. Round 7, Fury's best round, landed multiple clean punches. Round 8, Fury, but close. Round 9, 10-8 Wilder because it was a knockdown. Round 10, Fury. Round 11, Fury. And then round 12, Wilder with a knockdown. Okay, here go my bad. I had a description. Let me read the description. Excuse me.
All right.
Great championship fight between the top 3 best heavyweights in the world. Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury put it all on the line, and both deserve to be commended, whether we agree with the outcome or not. First thing first, I scored this fight live without being swayed and TV announcers or any outside opinion. So I was in the fight scoring it live. With this being said, I think that a tie was a fair decision, as it would have been a split decision for either guy. I encourage others to cut off the sound when they score the fight, but this fight was exactly how most people predicted it to be. Fury was always the better boxer, and Wilder had the great equalizer. Wilder won most of the rounds where he threw his jab. When he didn't throw his jab, he lost the rounds. This is the same theme from Luis Ortiz's fight. Being real, this is ultimately a discipline issue and should be worked on. Fury's plan appeared to be keep the fight as close as a boxing match and to weather any early storms, then use his superb conditioning to win the fight in the later rounds. He implemented this plan very well with Wilder's help, of course, his lack of jabs and body shots. Wilder and his corner made poor adjustments throughout the fight. The biggest thing I saw, easy to see from the stands, but harder to see in the ring, but nevertheless, was the biggest thing I saw was Fury's bad habit of bending over to his right to avoid Wilder's punches, and Wilder rushed his punches and never capitalized on this bad habit. The knockdowns Wilder landed were a result of when he caught Fury after Fury lean. It should not have taken Wilder until round 9 to see that tendency and capitalize on it. Fury leaned the whole fight, and no one told Wilder to take a hard step, feint, and to get Fury to respond as he continued to do and punch him silly as he bends down. Part of this could have been Wilder being too emotionally invested into the fight and therefore not having the mental focus to see this tendency. This mental battle was a win advantage for Fury. Wilder also tied out a lot sooner than he normally does. Again, his raging emotions probably were a cause for this. I really hope he can manage moving forward because it could become an issue at the wrong time. Something interesting about the fight is that even with Wilder's relatively poor performance as compared to other fights, he still managed to keep the fight close with a boxer who had much better boxing fundamentals than him. As much as we give him flack about him not being a good boxer, he boxes competitive rounds with superb boxers. This speaks to Wilder's boxing ability and athleticism, and he deserves credit for being a better boxer than most give him credit for. Like you, especially when he leads his attack with the jab. A jab in Wilder is a deadly Deontay Wilder, in my humble opinion. And then I got some more stuff, but I'm getting long-winded.
What? Yeah, well, a jab. Yeah, there's a jab, but the thing about it is, you got to be efficient with it or effective with it. And in that first particular fight, like you've seen on multiple or a lot of rounds, like he wasn't able to land the jab with much success at all. There were like, according to the punch stats, there were like 4 or 5 rounds where the most jabs he landed were 2.
And I said in the rounds he didn't throw the jab, them the rounds he lost. Well, we need to score the fight live again. We need to have another show where we run the fight back, and then we all give our 3 scorecards.
Yeah, at least we'll figure out a way to watch it.
I found my score
without put it on the channel so that
without you getting the copyright strike. I got you.
I found my scorecard. Here it is. Round 1, Fury. Round 2, Fury. Round 3, Fury. Round 4, Fury.
No explanation.
Round 6, Fury. Round 7, Fury. Round 8, Fury. Round 9, Wilder, 10-8. Round 10, Fury. Round 11, Fury. Round 12, 10-8, Wilder. 116, 110, Fury.
116, 110.
So this sounds like something you would say, no explanation, just saying Fury won. That sounds like you. That sounds like something you would say now.
No, because I've just found out my
that sounds like some shit you just made up and just say it right now.
No, I found my notepad.
The thing about it is, like with the scorecards having it like a split draw, like you had one score of 113, 113, and then one side had it 114, 112 in favor of Fury, and then the other one had it 114, 112 in favor of Wilder, and then the other judge had it 115, 111, for actually no, scratch that. That was for the 114, 112 was for Wilder, and the 115, 111 was the other side. Something like
so
that.
114, 112 means one of the judges thought Wilder won 6 rounds.
Yeah.
I just gave you the breakdown where he won all the rounds. I just told you where he won the rounds. He won the first 2 rounds.
So the thing about it was, it would have been a split decision in favor. Well, it would have been a majority decision in favor of Tyson Fury if it wasn't for those 2 knockdowns.
That's what happens when you get knocked down. You lose an extra point.
Even without those 2 knockdowns, like dog, what the fuck? How many rounds you say he outlanded Fury in?
I mean,
that Wilder outlanded Fury?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Man, if you go off that CompuBox bullshit, it had Manny Pacquiao winning, saying that Manny Pacquiao landed more punches than Timothy fucking Bradley in their fight. That's some bullshit. Because Manny Pacquiao only threw in the last 30 seconds.
My thing is, it's about like being effective with your shots. So
I'm trying to remember an effective. Like I'm really racking my memory to remember an effective jab from Wilder. Now, JL, do you remember effective jabs from Wilder? I'm asking you. You remember effective jabs from Wilder in that fight?
Go back and watch round 1. You'll see an effective jab.
I don't know. Like especially in round 1, because like for me, what I was remembering was that when Wilder was throwing those jabs, he was like a little bit short, and Fury was using his like his reach, because he had a little bit of a reach advantage on Deontay Wilder in this one. So, I just saw like, him, Fury, being successful with the reach that he had, and then Wilder being a little bit short when it came to him throwing his jab. So I thought that was a key part of that fight, because Fury kind of like utilized that distance and was able to use that to his advantage for a certain
Boxing
point.
Academic. Want me to be honest with you? I remember Wilder landed more punches in the first 2 rounds of the second fight than he did the whole first fight. Shit that really popped out. You feel me? Really, like, he landed right hands, he landed jabs. In the first fight, in the first 2 rounds, he landed way more effective punches than he did in the first fight. Because I don't remember a single one except for those knockdowns, bro. I don't remember a single one.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna tell you where you both are wrong. Unfortunately, I have to be the guy to tell you that you both are wrong, because in the first fight, first couple rounds, and the rounds that he did win, Wilder was using a lot of hand fighting, and in between the hand fighting, that's when he would land his jabs, and that's how he nullified Tyson Fury, because Fury was so caught up with the hand fighting. It's no different.
What?
Hand fighting. He was hand fighting. Is no different than what Francis Ngannou was doing with all the hand fighting that kept Fury busy. Fury wasn't throwing no shots because Wilder was hand fighting him. In the rounds that Wilder won, Wilder was doing the hand fighting, and then he might throw, a right hand every now and then, and just throw literally more punches because Fury was neutralized in a sense.
I'm gonna just say this. I think this is you're a fan of him. So
Nigga, I just read the scorecard out and this long ass diatribe. You heard the diatribe.
That diatribe.
Let me see. Let me see what I got here, man. Is this the first joint? Yeah, let me see, man. I'm trying to check it.
Can I read my last part while you find that?
Yeah, go ahead.
My fight breakdown is below. Rounds 1 and 2 started with Wilder throwing his jab and controlling the action of the fight. He won these rounds off his ability to be first with the jab and ultimately make Fury become hesitant when throwing his own punches. Rounds 3 and 4 had Wilder throwing jabs less, and that resulted in less control of how the fight went. Fury minimized the action, then landed a few shots which either won him the round or made it extremely close to call. Round 4, I said it was a tie round. Round 5.
Give me time. I want timestamps. Can you give me timestamps of the jabs you was landing on those first 2 rounds so I can go look back? Give me some timestamps on them.
I'm gonna finish reading. Round 5, Wilder is sort of chasing Fury, and Fury is moving, but not really throwing punches. No significant punches landed, but Wilder won off of activity. Round 6, Wilder let Fury lull him into inaction, and Fury lands arid punches while the fighters are separating, moving away from each other. Fury is starting to get into his timing groove. Round 7, Fury's best round thus far. He lands multiple clean, hard punches. Wilder becomes predictable and pays for it. Round 8, Fury wins round by very slim margin. Round 9, Wilder scores knockdown. Fury keeps leaning to his right side. Wilder finally saw it and caught him doing the lean. Wilder expends a lot of energy. Round 10, Wilder is exhausted this round, and he took the round off. Fury has great stamina and keeps pressing. Round 11, close round, but Fury appears to be less fatigued and won off activity in a close round. Round 12, Wilder scores a knockdown. Fury gets up and deserves a lot of credit for this that most men wouldn't and couldn't do. Wilder spent a lot of energy, and Fury recovered and notices how visibly spent Wilder is. Fury presses and wins the rest of the round. Here's my live scorecard. Round 1, Wilder. Round 2, Wilder. Round 3, Fury. Round 4, tie. Round 5, Wilder. Round 6, Fury. Round 7, Fury. Round 8, Fury. Round 9, Wilder knockdown. Round 10, Fury. Round 11, Fury. Round 12, either 10-8 Wilder or 10-9 Wilder. And so what I'm saying, based upon my scorecards, if you take my scorecards and the tie round and the 10 or 9 round where I say Wilder in round 12, they equate to what the judges say, because if you give Fury the scorecard, it would either be a tie, or if you give it to Wilder, it'll be the 10-12 or whatever the score is, the 14-12.
Like if it's like 6 rounds to 6, with the 2 knockdowns, you would have Wilder with a 2-point advantage. But if it would be like the other way, it would have to be Fury that would have to win 8 rounds to 4 in that case. But I think it's more about, the first 4 or 5 rounds that, people are trying to grasp, like who got the better of it. Because like, even with the judges' scorecards in those first 5 rounds, with the exception of round 1, every other round, they pretty much like had a disagreement on. So
thank you. So exactly what I'm saying. It could have went. It's just what you favor. So it's exactly what I'm saying.
Round 1 and round 2, the rounds that you said he controlled it with the jab. Wilder landed 1 jab out of 21 in round 1. And round 2,
I don't believe that CompuBox bullshit. That's bullshit.
And round 2, he followed that up again, going 1 for 21.
Where you see these numbers at, though?
Yeah, they're on here. Hold on, let me see if I could pull it up. I'm gonna see if I get it from Boxing Scene. Yeah, we'll just go through this right quick, and then after that, I'll go to the.
We got to see the power punches too. Now we got to see both of them.
Yeah. So hold on, I'm gonna.
No, I only brought up the jab because that's the main shit you're using for why he won.
I'm saying he nullified him, and he also landed right hands as well. He did it both, but it started with the jab. His offense, the same way Joshua broke this dude down because his jab made him react, and then he like changed levels and then hit him with shots. It wasn't like that. I'm just saying that's
so here's
the game plan.
Right. Like total punches are at the top, and then you got the jabs, and then you got the power punches below that. So you kind of like see the numbers and the percentages on it. So that first round, you see like 4 punches landed supposedly through CompuBox for Deontay Wilder, and Fury, kind of like landing 6. So. That's why I kind of like said, like at the first part of us talking about the first fight where it said like Fury had.
Where you see that at? I'm blind. Where you tell me what part of the screen?
So the top part of the screen where it got the numbers on there, right?
Is the total punches?
Yeah, the total punch.
4 for 35. Gotcha.
Yeah, so it got that 4 for 35. And then you got the jabs below that, and then the power punches below that. So, that's where you got the the whole joint there with round by round, basically. But it said total, for the total punches or final punch stats, like they had Fury outlanded Wilder by 13 total punches.
All right, so what I want y'all to see though, Wilder is throwing more punches.
So they're trying to. I think that the thing is they were getting it to him for activity. So
that's what I said.
But I mean, even with that, that's why I kind of like seen like for those first 5 rounds or whatever it was, even though Wilder had the more activity, they pretty much said like Fury was more effective with the punches and what he was doing. So
one punch don't make you more effective just because you land one more punch.
You have something there.
One less punch don't make you more effective either. So
I'm saying it's Floyd Mayweather throw less punches and probably get.
Floyd been outlanded one time in his career. That was Jose Luis Castillo won. That was one fight that he got outlanded on. He doesn't get outlanded very much in fight. That was one fight in his entire career. Track by CompuBox got outlanded on.
That's fair. But all I'm saying is these numbers are corroborating what I'm saying, and it's corroborating my score. I feel even more emboldened in my scorecard that Wilder beat that ass and got in tie.
Have you ever heard a term called cognitive dissonance and another one called confirmation bias?
But that's not me. I had reasoning behind everything, and the numbers are supporting me.
Okay.
Well,
JR just said that the judges didn't agree on the first 5 rounds. They was all over the place, which means that if somebody saw it that way, it depends on what you like. The same way you favor. Well, I don't know what style you favor actually, because you be like you be like kind of like biased, like if you don't like the fighter, if you don't like the fighter, then you favor the other style.
Listen, I literally had Raymond Ford to beat what's the guy's name?
Komatov.
I had Raymond Ford to beat Komatov simply because I'm from Jersey. When the fight start happening, I gotta score the fight. How I want to score the fight, nigga. It is what it is. You feel me? I know for a fact you went in there as a Wilder fan, so anything that looked slightly competitive, you gave it to Wilder. I already know. No, there's no explanation you can give me behind that. I know that's the simple meat and potatoes of it.
The judges, the official judges, not us sitting on the sidelines eating popcorn. The official judges agreed with me. So need I say more? That's all I'm saying.
Judges get it wrong all the time, bro.
It's subjective. That's all I'm saying. And my subjectivity lined up with the judges.
There's only one intelligent. I mean, I know a judge that scored Canelo Mayweather 114.
I mean, that judge got paid though.
Shit, Al Heyman got a bag. Tyson Fury wasn't fucking with the cartel yet. He ain't have that bag, so
we don't know what he was doing.
Hey, yeah, we don't know, man. But I mean that that kind of like shows like how sometimes some fights could be closely scored, but it may come down to preference. Sometimes I think this was like a discussion over in like a space or something like that. Like you could someone needs to like go into these judges and like the fights that they've scored and how they score the fights, and
you gotta explain it to me.
Compare that to if they favor a certain style. You know what I mean?
You can see that though. You can see who favor, like that dude Moretti. He favored boxers, right?
Dave Moretti, like
one of them guys that be on Floyd Mayweather's cards, the same 2 or 3, they favor like boxers.
Glenn Feldman or
between him and Moretti, they favor boxers. I don't remember which one it is.
Because I remember Tim Bradley versus Provocative. I know it's unofficial, but Howard Letterman inexplicably had Provocative up 117, 110 or some shit. I'm like, how? I mean, Bradley's getting hit, but he's beating him every round. Nigga, I don't care if he's getting hit, but he's beating it. I had it 117, 110, the opposite direction. I'm like, what the hell was you watching?
Dave Moretti was in Floyd Mayweather's last 6 fights. His final 6 fights.
And his cards, I bet he said yes to him on every. I mean, obviously you got to say yes to him because he went around.
Yeah.
But okay, who were the judges in the Tim Bradley Pacquiao one? And I bet you their scorecards was all over the place.
I'm not. You know how I scored that fight? I scored Pacquiao, Tim Bradley, 115, 113, Manny Pacquiao with 5 rounds that I consider swing rounds. So whoever won, I didn't give a fuck. That was one of those kind of fights. It had 5 swing rounds.
So like Jerry Roth had it 115, 113 for Pacquiao. And the other 2 had it 115, 113 for Bradley in that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of swing rounds. But the people who bring up Pacquiao landed 100 more punches. I said that's no different than Lomachenko landed like 30 more punches than Haney. The punches are not. Some rounds are big rounds. Like Lomachenko had round 11.
Was it round 9 or round 10 for Lomachenko?
Yeah, round 11. I think it was round 9 where he had this nigga. No, round 11 it was. He had this nigga out on his feet. You feel that shit happened. He landed like 30 punches that round. So that could cause a huge discrepancy on the scorecard, but doesn't mean just consistently. I think Haney outlanded Lomachenko 7 out of the 12 rounds, but the rounds Lomachenko outlanded him was eye-popping. It was like crazy double type of shit. But so the final numbers doesn't necessarily. I look at the numbers round by round. The final numbers
round 11, because round 11 Lomachenko, they said it was like 20 punches landed for Lomachenko and like 2 for Devin Haney.
Hey Zo, you just proved my point with the Deontay Wilder shit, nigga.
I said round by round, and we just went through.
Nigga, you said that just because it's a big punch differential, the nigga still can win the fight. That's what you just said. I'm paraphrasing.
Did I not break it down round by round? You chose to hear what you want to hear, which go back to my point.
Yes, in them rounds it was close. The punches landed, and Wilder was throwing more punches in the rounds that I said he won. I bet if we went and looked at the rounds I said he won and looked at the total punches landed.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna have the joint where we'll be able to like rewatch the fight, and then we're gonna go through round by round, and then after each round, we're gonna assess like each one of them joints, and then see who we have as far as like winning each one of those rounds, and then we'll get it. Probably I'm gonna see if I can schedule it for I don't know. Maybe like Tuesday or something, Tuesday or Thursday or something like that.
I'm about to pivot from that bum wildness. I'm about to pivot with the Munguia Canelo thing happening, and that's Golden Boy working with Al Heyman. Does that open the door for Tank versus Williams or Peter in December?
I don't know, man. If they're willing to offer Williams a Peter, I mean, maybe that's been a potential fight that you kind of suggested there for Tank Davis. But this thing with Canelo and Munguia, this is like a money type of thing there, where Munguia is going to get paid. They say it's around like $6 million or something like that for it. So I don't know. Maybe the thing there with Zepeda, they get a good little purse there for Zepeda for that fight if that does take place later this year. But back to the joint there with Canelo and Munguia. Yeah, it's official, May 4th. T-Mobile Arena. Kind of like discussed it a little bit on Friday. I still don't see where MVO says that Munguia has a shot in this. I don't.
He's just being controversial. My boy was just being controversial.
Yeah, that's all he's being controversial.
Because he's not a guy like Munguia is not a guy that's like a Bivol or anybody that could effectively move like a Lara or move like in weird steps like like Austin Trout did for the majority of that fight.
He's a level below Julio Cesar Chavez Sr.
You mean Junior?
Yeah, Junior, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh, Junior, a level below Lil Chavez?
A level below Lil Chavez.
Hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
If Munguia won this fight, how big of an upset would this be? Like compared to some upset in the past, how big of an upset would it be? What level of upset would it be?
In my opinion, I don't know about Vegas. In my opinion, since Buster Douglas didn't suck, it will be bigger than that, because Buster Douglas wasn't ass. He just was inconsistent. Munguia's objectively ass.
Yeah. Damn, I'm trying to think of
it's the biggest.
The upset.
Okay. Donald Curry being knocked out by the English nigga. That's the only one bigger. Honeycomb, whatever.
Yeah. Because the thing with Munguia, you know what? I kind of like thought about this like just earlier there with Jaime Munguia, and this might be something. I think Jaime Munguia right now, where he's at, is almost similar to where Canelo was before he fought Floyd Mayweather. Only thing is
similar how?
In that he's built up to this record of being up to 43-0 before having this step up fight or this huge fight of sorts. You know what I mean? Like before
he fought Austin Trout. He already had Austin.
Yeah,
Trout.
He already had an Austin Trout fight though. That's the major difference. Both these, like I said, it's been 43. It was 43 fights for Canelo before he fought Floyd Mayweather.
And even then, even though those names was faded and irrelevant, they still was better than what
he still had the names though. Like he had the bigger names from Shane Mosley. He had the Josecito Lopez. He had Kermit Cintron on there.
You feel me? He had some
Carlos Baldomir. He had him.
Carlos Baldomir fight was the first time I seen Canelo. I was like, oh shit, he starched that nigga. Though. I didn't think Baldomir could get knocked. He starched him. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. But like Baldomir was already 60 plus fights in.
Yeah, 95 years old.
Yeah, so it was like, geez. but yeah, that's kind of like almost what I see here with this particular fight is like it's probably like Mexico's like level of how Canelo came up and then had the fight with Floyd Mayweather, at his point of his career. So, I feel like it's weird
to Jeff Lacey.
Jeff Lacey and Kawasaki. Yeah. But I kind of find it like it's weird that this is Munguia's second world title, basically like world title attempt. We hadn't had a world title attempt ever since he beat Saddam Ali, for the WBO 154-pound belt. Didn't try to unify at 154. Didn't fight for a world title at 160, and then he goes up at 168, has a couple fights, and now he's fighting for undisputed. So,
and you know why he didn't do that? Because who he would have had to fight at the times.
Yeah, man. Everybody, I think every single person with a heartbeat at 154 would have beat that nigga.
You had the Charlos around there. You had
Harrison would have beat him.
You had Hurd.
Wait, hold up. Let me take the Hurd shit back. I don't know.
J-Rock.
Hold up. That's a fight they should have put him up against Hurd against Hurd. That he could have won that. He could have won against Hurd.
Just because Hurd can't get away from punches.
Yo, if a 2-inch space rock crash landed the earth, it would hit Hurd flush.
Hey, let me tell y'all something that I think is weird about Canelo. Like we said, Canelo got some decent names on his resume. However, the time that he fought a lot of people, it's weirdness about the times that he fought these people. They was either an inch too old, or you know what I'm saying? It's always something. It was always something when he fought these people. And the only person he wasn't, well, I ain't gonna say the only, but one person that he obviously wasn't necessarily favored against was Floyd Mayweather. But everybody else that he fought was either long in the tooth or they had faced some big adversity, or it was always something.
Or if they wasn't, or they're just better than him, he always knew all he had to do was try, and the rest would take care of the rest. Austin Trout and Lara.
He had to what now? Say it again.
He also had in his back pocket that all he had to do is go out there and try, and the rest would handle the rest. The judges would handle the rest for him. Like the Trout and Lara fight.
The Texas open scoring.
It's just the boxing, because think about it. He got a 14-14 card against Floyd. That just show you the magnitude of Canelo's popularity with some of these judges. He got a 14-14 card against Floyd. That guy, if you go into a fight with Canelo, you have to know that you need a knockout just to get a draw. You feel me? You have to know that.
Hey, I mean, that Lara fight, you had one judge having it 117-111 in favor of Canelo, man.
Egregious. And I felt, and I'm one of the people who thought Canelo won the fight, because I have a rule of people, like, I understand if you get hit and you stumbling and you turn around, I get that. But if you voluntarily turn your back into a nigga and run away, I penalize you for that. And Lara did that a lot. But even then, 117-111 didn't one judge had it 118-110 against Triple G or some egregious shit like that?
That's that late bird.
Like, what the fuck? 118-110.
Yeah.
That boy got that brown paper bag, bro, way before he came into the arena, bro. I'm like, yo.
Hey,
that's
man.
The thing.
What the brown paper bag mean?
Big money, that money that the IRS don't know about.
Oh, gotcha.
That untraceable money. You feel me? Like, take this pay cut. You feel me? I mean, take this pay, bro. Because like, you cannot convince me. Like, Canelo has the 2 Triple G fight, the Austin Trout fight, the Lara fight. You feel me? The Bivol fight, the Floyd Mayweather fight. That's 6 losses, my nigga. He's a whole we looking at him at a whole different person if he doesn't get some, beneficial, you feel me, treatment from certain judges.
The 2 draws. You got the Golovkin joint, and that was first one was like an early joint.
No contest or some shit. I think
it was like it was back in 2006. He had a draw back in 2006. So yeah,
And
but he could have had like 5 losses, man.
And his first title he won was like some bullshit against Matthew Hatton, who never even fought at 154. Like they just handed him some shit.
It was for the vacant. He had the vacant belt.
But why was Matthew Hatton the opponent, nigga? He's not even 154.
Yeah, he was a. I don't know. Hey, it's the WBC, man. That's the WBC for you, man. He was like Matthew Hatton was a Euro level fighter,
140, Euro level 147,
and he goes up and he faces Canelo Alvarez for the vacant WBC belt.
And then, bro, the only fight I'll probably give Canelo like super credit for, I'm like, okay, you did well, was probably Miguel Cotto, I guess.
If Miguel, after Cotto was coming off the win over Martinez or whatever it is. Hey, we got the Chef Terrell in the building, man. What's going on, Chef?
We back Canelo.
WBC equals we back Canelo.
We back Canelo. Yo, do you remember what the WBC did to Martinez to give Julio Chavez the belt? You remember that story?
Oh man.
They didn't sanction a fight for him, and then they stripped him and gave this shit to Chavez. And then we come to find out that Mauricio is Chavez's godfather. I'm like, yo, lock this nigga up.
Yeah, hey, man, that be the thing, man. That's why sometimes I said that I would suggest about getting trying to form a sanctioning body myself and come up with a ranking system and raise enough money to get a belt designed and you just hand out the belt for each division and just crown world champions, man.
Because they really robbed it. They really robbing niggas, bro. It's not even about being the best. They really just robbing you. They know you get money. They're gonna give you the belt because they know that 3% of whatever you get is bigger than the next guy's. So that's not even fair. And then you can't even.
Yeah, but that's why I talked about the whole thing with Joshua and Philip Hergovich. That could be for the IBF because the percentages, man, they probably get more money from Joshua than Fury and Usyk. Big ups to Joe here of War Week Boxing. Says great show. I want to know, why does everybody want to trash Tyson Fury these days? They herald Joseph Parker for being an inactive Wilder, yet trash Fury for beating a prime Deontay Wilder.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
You go ahead, though.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I think I told you this before, JR. I think I side-eye people because, me, I'm consistent. I've been consistently saying Wilder trash. So when Fury beat him, that didn't elevate Fury into some mythical level to me for beating him. But what I did notice, there's a certain segment of the population I was trashing Fury, trashing Wilder, calling Wilder trash. And then magically Fury beats him and magically Fury turns into Muhammad Ali because you can't have it both ways. You feel me? You can't have it both ways. I'm not going to play the race card, but I think the race card got a lot to do with it, dog.
I'm going to say this. I don't give a shit how Tyson Fury performed in his last 2-3 fights. Stylistically, Joshua ain't going to beat Tyson Fury. That's all that need to be said. Joshua is doing a lot better. He's peaking in a sense, but he still ain't going to beat Tyson Fury unless Fury got a needle sticking out his arm and fat and flabby, or unless it's that Fury, which it ain't gonna be that Fury. No, there's no way Josh would beat this Fury. I don't see it.
Like, to me, I never seen, I've been watching Fury since people been telling me to pay attention to him. So I caught him around maybe a fight or two before the McDermott fight. But the McDermott fight, man, from that and on, I always looked at him skeptic. He lost that fight. Let's throw that out there. McDermott beat him. Let's throw that shit out there. If anybody watched that fight, go watch that fight. McDermott beat that nigga. You feel me? Let's go that down. Fury never been impressive to me. I'm talking about, He got that fucking dull ass Klitschko win. You feel me? That dollar when nobody did anything. So I guess you could give him that shit. You feel me? What did he do other than that? You got knocked down 6 times against Deontay Wilder, and I'm supposed to take you seriously. Like, okay, cool. You got cut by Otto Wally. You feel me? Cool. You feel me? What the fuck? Like, I'm supposed to be impressed by this? They calling him one of the top 10 greatest heavyweights of all time. Get the fuck out. That's disrespectful to all the heavyweights in boxing history. That's disrespectful. Fucking Tyson Fury. For what? Because he beat Wilder. Really? That's the bar. You cannot these people, these media outlets cannot have it both ways.
Okay.
You can't call Wilder a bum and give somebody credit for beating him. You can't have it both ways.
It's interesting because with Tyson Fury, of course, they tie him into Deontay Wilder and his 2 wins over Deontay Wilder. But after that, what would you point to his resume as his best win? Would it be the Klitschko?
Dillian White? Oh, yeah. Klitschko.
You got the Klitschko joint. So it's like Klitschko and what is it? So you got Klitschko and Wilder, right? Some folks could say like, hey, you could put a lot of weight towards that, like how folks put a lot of weight towards Teofimo Lopez's wins over Lomachenko and Josh Taylor, but you're not gonna put Teofimo Lopez amongst the
all-time greats, bro.
All-time greats like that, But yeah, they're doing it here with Tyson Fury,
and to this day, they still announcing Tyson Fury as the lineal champion. That is so aged at this point. Because, like I say, he has done virtually nothing. And so, it's not. I give him credit for winning what's in front of him and how he's done it. But listen, how he's done it is nothing. It's just he just lays on people. No real technique in that. I mean, I give him a mental edge for fighting people like that. But like I said, for what he's definitely nowhere near top 10. All time, that's an insult.
Yo, Chef, I'm glad you said that, Chef, because you said that shit that he doesn't do nothing, no tech. Yo, that third fight, him and Wilder, was the fucking you know how much of a stickler I am for watching clean, sharp, technical boxing. That shit was UFC, and I could not. That shit was horrible. People calling that shit one of the greatest. That shit was a wrestling match. All I just seen was Fury just laying on this little ass nigga all fight, just laying like it's disgusting. And he got caught mad times.
You talking about like a hidden hold almost, like how we're talking about what Klitschko was doing.
Yeah,
he was like a jab. Yeah, that Fury with a jab and grab and try to lean on you and try to wear down.
Fury was holding him behind his head and hitting him too.
Oh yeah. But he knew how to work that because at that time he looked at where the referee was. So if he does that, then he'll put the arm around where the referee's on the opposite side, so he can't really see that. You know what I mean?
I said this before. Nothing breaks my heart more than Wilder with Wilder's body, power, athleticism. It's a damn shame he didn't come 10 years before and got connected with Emmanuel Stewart at like age 15. We probably would have been watching one of the greatest fighters ever. Unfortunately, we got Mark Breland, who he didn't listen to. You feel me? And which is a damn shame because Mark Breland is supposed to be the perfect trainer for you. You feel me? With the body type, the style. You feel that's supposed to be I wish he listened because Wilder has so much unfulfilled potential, but instead, he was just a nigga who relied on one punch, dog.
Oh, he says, the thing for the lineage is Usyk. It's Usyk now because of Fury's activity. So
the transitional boxing board.
Well, you got the TBRB there,
which is the real lineal belt now because the Ring magazine became fraudulent.
Yeah.
So after Usyk beat Fury after Usyk beat AJ the second
time,
he became lineal champion. Which I got a question about the lineal shit because so Manny Pacquiao fought Tim Bradley the third time, became lineal champion, announced his retirement, but came back 3 months later, but wasn't lineal champion no more. But Fury was able to hold on to it because he became lineal champion after he beat Bradley number 3. But yet he was stripped because he announced his retirement, even though he came back 2 months later. But Fury was able to come back 2 years later, still lineal. I don't understand that. Tim Bradley should have been lineal champion when he beat Jeff Horn, because Jeff Horn beat Pacquiao. The lineage was never broken. I don't know why they broke it.
Hey, that's pretty much like up to the board. That they're the ones that kind of decide who's lineal champion and what the rules are, and I guess it changes as they go at times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. So he says what you just described, what Tyson versus Holyfield. This is heavyweight boxing. Hey man, like folks thought like in that first fight that Tyson was gonna beat up Holyfield, and we all see what happened there, man.
Let me say this: my uncles and everybody for years were staunch saying that Holyfield would beat Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson didn't have the ability to because Holyfield had the ability to put Mike Tyson in his back foot, wrestle him, and take all his leverage off his punch. My uncles was telling me that for years and shit. So there's a lot of people that thought Holyfield could beat Mike Tyson. It wasn't as big, but there's a lot of people who felt that.
Mm. Yeah, and plus going through the history in the past, even before that particular fight, they kind of saw that Holyfield could hang with Tyson. Even when that fight could take place, or the fight did take place. So there was there definitely was that, man. What was it? The last joint here, what I got, they announced this whole thing with the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson that'll be on Netflix, and the only thing with that one was, of course, everyone knows it's an exhibition and all that type of stuff and whatnot, but it kind of goes into the whole thing when it comes to the sport of boxing and promoting, or kind of like having an impact on mainstream, or like mainstream media or whatever it is. Like after that fight was announced, you kind of like heard the story on multiple news or media outlets, like it was talked about on sports talk radio and that type of stuff. But things like boxing, like actual matches, they don't really get that initial attention that it should. Like the fight with the Haney versus Ryan, and the joint with of course Spence and Crawford last year, or anything that kind of like dealt with Deontay Wilder defending the world title or whatever it is. It didn't necessarily get that buzz, but this did, because it involved someone that probably is the last fighter or American fighter that got that mainstream buzz, and Mike Tyson. So it's like who out here, or who within the boxing could get that type of buzz? You know what I mean?
Davis.
That's probably the one that could potentially do it. The only thing is he gotta, I guess he gotta keep winning and keep, beating guys in spectacular fashion or whatever it is. But yeah, maybe Tank is the guy that could be the next one that has that Mike Tyson level of attention on mainstream, media, that type of thing, man. Because I just found it surprising that like an exhibition fight like that just took off. Basically like took off.
A nonsense fight, man. A fucking nonsense fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got like folks within boxing that talk about, we want to be part of the card. You had like Antonio Tarver saying that he wants to fight Bernard Hopkins on the card or something. I'm like,
go to sleep, old man.
Hey, let that man get some money.
I don't know. Maybe no. You know what? Maybe we should have an exhibition fight between Bernard Hopkins and Bill Haney on that card. How about that?
Nah, because all jokes aside, Bernard Hopkins would beat the fuck out of that guy, man.
I was about to say, let's not sleep on Bernard, because that man probably still do push-ups and sit-ups.
What I hate? Because Bernard Hopkins aligned himself with Golden Boy, a lot of people in our community don't fuck with Bernard Hopkins no more. So they say a lot of strange things. Like they said, he was a clown and he was clout chasing when he told Bill Haney to come to the bathroom. I'm like, nigga, I've been to prison and he's been to prison. I know what come to the bathroom mean, bro. He wasn't joking, my nigga. What would you think of a guy with 20 title defenses at the middleweight division would be joking when he said come to the bathroom?
So he can beat his ass, right?
Yeah, like who would look at that and be like, oh, he's joking. Oh, it's like a joke. He was cloud chasing. He was just doing that to be fun. There's only out of these two guys, only one of them was a champion. Only one of them's a legend. Only one of them's an all-time great. Bernard Hopkins, I think I got Bernard Hopkins. Let's see. Sugar Ray, Heavy Grab, Hagler, Munzo. I got Hopkins. Damn. I got Hopkins somewhere in my top 10 middleweights of all time, nigga. And these niggas talk about he's scared of some goddamn Bill Haney, bro. Be for real, people.
No, it's funny because people it's funny now. We know Bernard Hopkins. We know where he's from. We hear you from the streets, with the prison. We know that story. It's funny now. This generation is a step removed from that story, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I said that's all. Go to basketball. We know if you're real, you know. What's the saying now?
You know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know, and I know who the hell Bernard. I watched Bernard Hopkins go to Puerto Rico, take the Puerto Rican flag, and threw it on the floor, nigga.
Threw it on the floor, stamp on it. Like, yeah. Puerto Rico would do that. Like,
nigga, talk about he's scared of some goddamn Bill Haney, nigga. Be
like,
serious.
That's a whole different level type of dude there, man. You know what I mean?
I watched this nigga. I watched everybody was calling Kelly Pavlik a monster, the scariest thing in the world, man. I watched this nigga fucking dismantle this guy and then gave him a speech.
Pretty much like 12-0 him, you know.
And then gave him a speech in the end like his father, like, yo, keep your head up. You feel you'll get better. Type, yo, like, bro, hey, he's scared of Bill. Get for real.
So who told who to come to the bathroom?
Bill told
Bernard.
I think, Bernard told Bill.
So they trying to say what? What they trying to say though?
They got into an argument.
But he trying to say it was like he tried to play it off like it was some gay shit, or what he tried to play it off?
No. They trying to say Bernard said it and ran. They said Bernard has said that and ran. That's what people
Man, Bernard ain't stupid. Why would Bernard put his future in jeopardy just off some skirmish or whatever? That man ain't stupid.
That was real shit. That was real shit, Mike. That was real. He's for real.
Yeah.
Oh, so he said come to the bathroom and then they tried to play it like he didn't.
Remember, like after that, like they took like a couple of steps and like, you know, they try to push him or something.
Oh yeah, no, he mushed him. He walked past him and hit his shoulder into him. Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
And then niggas still saying, oh, he was just pump fake. I'm like, nah, man, I just don't like the man. You know what's up, bro. Like, be for real.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna speak on the Tyson fight. I get what it means economically and I get what it means socially, but this shit just saddens me, man.
It is, man. It is. I agree. It's sad
because the possibility Mike Tyson might get his ass knocked out.
I don't think
that's guy like 57 years old.
A fucking 60-year-old man. Of course, it's pretty fucking likely he's gonna get knocked out to a 25, 30-year-old dude.
For some reason, I still think
who hit hard.
For some reason, I still think Mike scores a knockout here.
That would be nice, but man, I just don't know how I'm gonna feel if this dude knock out Mike Tyson, even if he is an old man.
I know how I'm gonna feel. I'm gonna go grab the strap. I'm not what?
Oh no.
Jake Paul gotta go. Jake Paul gotta go. I'm not gonna live with that shit. I'm revenge Mike. That's not about to happen.
Hey, Michael Brown, man, he put himself in the position.
Some of the boxers are saying that too. Like they don't even want to think about if Mike Tyson loses to Jake Paul, man. Who was it? Andre Durrell. I think Andre Durrell kind of like spoke on it too, man. He's like, man, I wouldn't be able to think if Mike Tyson lost to Jake Paul, man. You know, so
I'm gonna be real. I don't like when a black fighter is gonna fight a white fighter, and I know the white fighter is better, and they fight on Black History Month. That should be hurting me because I'm like, damn, nigga, pick another date. You feel me? Like,
it almost like a setup. You saying?
Yeah, like Wilder Future, man, put that shit in fucking January or some shit, nigga. Like, you feel me? Like, I don't want to see that shit in February. Though I gotta watch this shit. You feel me? I don't want to see that, bro. Bro, if Mike gets knocked out, I'll be sick, bro. The only thing that could make me feel better if Muhammad Ali's grandson get knocked out.
You know what? You talk about Nico Ali?
Colonizer Ali, the colonizer Ali.
Oh, come on! He just had a fight there. That was on that Comatau Ford card also. But man, yeah, this thing with Jake Paul, man, it's gonna be wild, dog. Because they even ranking Jake Paul at like number 14, the 14th ranked American in the cruiserweight division.
Wow.
But
really?
But that's BoxRec. They go by a point system though. You know what I mean? So
did he beat anybody ranked in the top 100 for BoxRec?
I don't think so. I seriously doubt it.
Is there any chance that they make a deal in the back where they say, "Hey, this fight needs to go 10 rounds or however many rounds it is,
I don't
just
think
to
Mike
save
got that
face"?
in him. I don't think Mike Tyson got that in him.
I don't know. If
You
they
don't
got,
think his handlers would write the story before it
like,
began?
put
I
it,
don't
put
think Mike got that in
That's
him.
the only way he gets a knockout over Tyson. It's just putting it in the back end. Say, hey, make it look good. Give Jake his boost. Give him the knockout. Whatever. And
No,
that
I'm
way
saying
we'll give you extra money, something like
This
that.
was gonna happen. Jake Paul's gonna land a punch, and then what that boy said, the god of war has stroked my ego. That's what's about to happen, dog. Like that's about to destroy that nigga, bro. Like
hey,
I'm
man,
sorry.
it might not be pretty, man. I
so.
don't
Y'all
know.
think Mike Tyson gonna win? That's what you're saying?
I do.
Based off what I seen against Roy Jones, that's enough to beat Jake Paul.
Man, I hope so, man. I just, yes, he looked nice, but that was against Roy Jones, man. You know,
Roy
flabby like
Jones,
Larry Holmes, Roy
Roy
Jones.
Jones, the same Roy Jones that lost to who was the goddamn
Roy Jones, Jake Paul's a 50-50
with
fight.
Anthony Pettis. He lost to Anthony Pettis last year.
The
He
dude who
lost in
knocked him out,
everything.
right?
Nah.
I could beat Anthony Pettis, bro.
Yeah,
That's not a joke.
I just don't know, man. I'm not predicting who I think will win. I just know I don't feel good about the possibility of Mike Tyson getting knocked out because he is an old man, a 60-year-old man.
Yeah, see, that's the only thing too, and that's why I'm kind of like, okay, exhibition or not, this is probably the only reason why they're putting it in Texas, because Texas is probably the only state in the country that would approve something like this, unless if it's like in some reservation up in North Dakota or something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is it. It doesn't. It's not a good look, man. Not a good look at all, yo.
Why don't Mike? But man, James Toney been calling Mike Tyson out, man.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, man. I like to see my favorite fighter get in there, mop Mike Tyson up real quick. You feel me? I like to see that. She my favorite fighter ever.
Man, you know James Toney ain't the same person he used to be.
Man, his brain gone, man.
Walking, hey, I mean, shoot, both of them have been walking with the cane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
But James Toney just had a fight. James Toney just fought Razor Ruddock in Jamaica.
oh yeah. That
He
was
fought Razor Ruddock in Jamaica 4 months ago.
Yeah, that was a whole that's crazy that they even approved that fight. Like
In
even
Jamaica,
in
though, that's
Jamaica,
why they did that
bro.
shit in another country. They had to go to another country for that.
Yeah, but even then, man, like, come on, man, like.
I don't care what nobody say. Jay Toney is my favorite fighter ever. I don't care. That nigga is the GOAT. I mean, he's not the GOAT, but he's my GOAT.
I mean, James Toney 20 years ago, or however many years ago when he was fighting. I mean, James Toney, I don't know, man. I just don't know how I feel about monetizing everything and then making shit a mockery. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
You want to entertain people.
Making it a whole like spectacle or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah,
I'm going to say something crazy. Boxing might have been in better hands when the Mafia ran it.
No, that's the same thing that what's that chick name? Rosado, that Rosado chick, she kind of like said the same thing a while back. And I'm like, come on, man. So you talk about fixed fights, man.
Fixed fights, bro.
No ring girls, no probably like little to no involvement about women in the sport ever at all. Yeah, you really want to have them being back?
No, you're right. I was tripping.
Nah, yo, come on, man.
Breaking niggas' legs because they want to fight.
You have whole setups. You know, having to go out. You talk about fixed fights way before the fight even happened.
But the thing about the Mafia back then, if you was a transcendent superstar, they really couldn't fuck with you for real. Because it was easier for the feds to pick up. Like a nigga like Sugar Ray Robinson. you couldn't really do anything because he was such a big star. You really couldn't fucking really play with him and like him and the Joe Louis. You couldn't. If you know like the Jake LaMotta, them niggas, yeah, you fooled.
Yeah.
You fooled. You got to, if you want a title shot 3 fight down the line, you got to lose this one for me.
Right. They would have it set up for you where you got to do this in order to get into another spot to fight for a world title. But nah, we don't want that type of stuff in boxing again, man. Oh man. But
so I got a question. I got a question for you.
All right.
Everybody in the panel, feel free to agree. I have heard people make the comment that Terrence Crawford, with his win over Spence, makes him a top 10 welterweight of all time. Do y'all agree or not?
Ooh.
No.
I don't.
No. As much as I love Terrence Crawford, it only took a second to think about that, right?
Yeah.
Now, granted, he's not his best thing. Me, of course, he stopped everyone at 147. I love that about him, even though we know it's a classic question about Crawford, who he faced in his first fights at 147 before Spence. We know about that, but then when you look at 147 as a whole, even with the Spence as a cherry on top, it's still a no.
Yeah,
still a no.
I agree.
I mean, remember, welterweight is one of the seven
original weight classes.
Original division. So it has a very extensive history on that, and you're gonna have to bring up those guys like the Sugar Ray, Leonard, Ray Robinson, Floyd Mayweather, Henry Armstrong, Oscar,
because look.
Man.
Just to show you how strict I am with my list, because I'm only considering what you do at welterweight. I made a top 20 about 4 years ago. I made a top 20. Number 20 was Purnell. So that should show you the bar that Terrence Crawford is not going to be this list. Period. You feel me?
So even
number 19, number 19 Duran. Number 18 Zivic. Number 17 Luis Ortiz. Number 16, Tommy Ryan. Number 15, Emilio Griffin. Number 14, Floyd. Number 13, Ted Lewis. Number 12, Tommy Hearns. Number 11, Charles Burley. Number 10, Mickey Walker. Number 9, McLaren. Number 8, Jack Britton. Number 7, Sugar Ray Leonard. 6, Barney Ross. 5, Napolis. Number 4, Gavilan. Number 3, Barbados, Joe Walcott. Number 2, Henry Armstrong. Number 1, Sugar Ray Robinson. So Floyd's not in my top 10. I don't think Bud should even be mentioned anywhere near that list. Bro.
Anywhere near that.
It's disrespectful.
Some folks only didn't know much about Barbados, Joe Walcott, but you also had Charlie Burley in that list too. That some folks sleep on too. So
most of his work, even though most of his work was at 160, he did do a lot of work at 147. Even though he didn't get title shot, even though he never won a belt, but we know why he won a belt. But you feel me? But that nigga probably, based off film, that nigga. It's not that much film on him, but based on what I've seen, that nigga might be the best defensive fighter that ever existed.
Yeah, instead of who they put as who was it, Joe Gans, or who the hell it was? It was some other dude that nobody has footage of, that they talk about. Oh, he's the best defensive fighter ever, or something like that.
Yeah, Joe Gans. No, it's Joe Gans and damn, what's the nigga? Heavyweight. He fought from welterweight all the way to heavyweight. Whatchamacallit ducked him. Jack Johnson ducked him like crazy, but Jack Johnson did beat him.
That's oh shoot, who's that? Yeah, man. Ezra Charles.
I got him ranked number 3. I got him ranked number 3 all the time. What the fuck's his name?
You talking about Ezra? No, it wasn't Ezra Charles, was it?
No. Ezra Charles never. Ezra Charles came after. Damn, what's this nigga name? Ezra Charles came after Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson beat this nigga when the nigga was 16. Well, by the time that nigga became a full adult, Jack Johnson ducked him like a plague. I can't remember his fucking name. He done knocked out anybody from damn near 126 all the way up to heavyweight, bro. I forgot about that. I'm gonna find it somewhere. I just can't remember it, dog. Let me see.
Oh no. Damn. Yo, see if you can find that joint.
Sam Langford. Sam Langford.
Yeah, Sam Langford. Yeah.
Langford. There you go. Sam Langford. Yeah.
Yep.
Jack Johnson ducked that nigga like a plague, bro. Yo, speaking of that, you heard they coming out with a Jack Johnson movie?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know how I feel about that because, you know, Jack Johnson was a piece of shit. So I have a feeling like the movie.
No, they had a few documentaries on them before this though.
Yeah, but you know, a big mainstream movie, they're gonna make it. You know, they're gonna make him look like, you know, a good guy that persevered, not a fucking anti-black asshole who became champion and then wrote the color line and give another black person a title shot. And then when Joe Louis became champion, he offered to train every single white person to make sure this nigga didn't become champion, so he could be there. Fuck that nigga. Fuck Jack Johnson, bro.
Oh man,
nigga's a coon, bro. Hate that nigga. Bro.
But yeah, we'll see what happens there with how they go present that movie out, because
they said I think Marshala Ali's supposed to be playing him.
Oh jeez, that's gonna be wild, yo. That's gonna be wild, bro. Yo, it is like almost 2 hours in for this podcast, man. I'm gonna put a close to this one. We got like action that's gonna be coming up on Wednesday, March 13th, over at the Pro Box joint. There is a small chance, very small chance, but a small chance nonetheless, that I might go to that fight card in Plant City. But I'll see how that goes.
Before you leave, is there any fights coming up at the Armory?
At where?
The Armory in Minnesota. Ain't no fights happening there.
Nah, I haven't seen anything coming up at the Armory. Yeah, the Armory over there yet. You know.
That's a 3-hour drive for me. I wouldn't mind going to an event there, man.
Hey, JR.
Yo.
Hey, hit me up because I'm free this week, so I can definitely slide over to Plant City. That's easy. That's easy this week.
All right, yo, I'll hit you up, man, because I gotta pull up a few things to see if I'll be able to make it to Plant City for that. So
yeah, even if I'll probably slide myself anyway. You know.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Before you leave, what's the over and under that the Ryan fight happened?
Oh goodness. Oh, you mean my percentage it happens?
Yeah. I'm at a good 70%. I'm confident. I'm not ringing the alarms yet.
I'll put it at 60%. I'll put it at 60%, man.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Put it at 60%. But I don't know, man. After a couple weeks, man, it might go down. So who knows? Yo,
the first couple of shit he said.
I'm looking at these videos. He's doing these videos, and I'm like, oh my goodness, man.
To me, the first couple of shit he said, I'm like, okay, he's trolling, he's trying to stir controversy. But now I'm starting to get disturbed.
Like, listen, he's had more videos, and then he had that little one. Well, the whole thing with the jump rope that he did, and then the one where he's hitting the heavy bag. I'm like, come on, man. This isn't giving me much confidence.
That nigga about to show up in the scales. That shit about to be a non-title fight.
Oh, but they had I guess they had him in a picture or something here from recent. It looked like somebody said he looked like he's a good 160-something pounds, man. I was like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah, man, that shit about to be a non-title fight, man. That shit about to be a non-title fight because this nigga about to be 100. And this nigga about to be 145 pounds minimum, bro.
Yeah, something, man. Because it looked like he wasn't all too hot, yo.
Dog, I can't believe he cracked like that mentally, dog. He ain't even get punched yet.
Nope.
Dog, this guy, man. But hey, this is the future of boxing, man. This is what we got to work with, man. It don't get any better. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Abdullah Mason might, grow some star power. It looked like he got a little bit of star power. I see a lot of people talking about him so far.
Yeah, I like Abdullah Mason. He's a very good young fighter, man.
Bruce Carrington too. Even though he's not that young, he's like 52 and shit. But I do see he's like 26. What is he? 26?
He's around like what 20? Yeah, like 20.
Okay, let me not talk about it. Yeah, 26 is a little too old for me, though. So I'm gonna go with Abdullah Mason. Might be. Top Rank might have a potential star right there. Yeah.
Carrington is 26, so
yeah, he's long on the tooth.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be in the mix to contend for a world title here real soon. So yeah, it's kind of
Ray Vargas is at 126, right?
Yeah, he got damn, that was a draw too against Nick Ball. Yeah.
Man,
WBC
Carrington beat the shit out of Vargas and Nick Ball.
Yeah, Nick Ball, man, he looked like he was just, looking for like one big shot, and Ray Vargas allowed him to get that punch in. I'm like, come on, man.
Man,
yeah,
I think Barrington could beat the entire 126 until Inoue come in there. Once Inoue come in there, it's a different story. But he could beat everybody else. He could beat who's that 6'7" nigga who just beat Robesi?
Oh, the WBO champ.
Hey, Warwick. I don't understand box rec point system either. I don't.
Hey, listen, I would have to talk with Gray Johnson on that, and even if he does explain it to me, I still probably wouldn't understand.
I think they throw shit on the wall and see what sticks. I really think that's what they do.
Yeah, it is crazy, but yeah, Rafael Espinoza. I don't know, man. I think Espinoza and Ramirez should have a rematch. That was one of the candidates for Fight of the Year, man.
Ramirez beats him, I think, in the rematch.
Yeah, so I like to see that fight again. No problem.
And Pembroke Pines again?
Which one?
Would you like to see it in Pembroke Pines again?
Oh, I don't know if it would be in Pembroke Pines though.
Hard Rock, to bring all the Cubans. It gotta be in South Florida to bring the Cubans out, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's probably a reason why they put it in Pembroke Pines, but it's Pembroke Pines, so it's not like Miami. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, what that is? 35 minutes?
Yeah, I know.
Pines, once you pass Pines, you get the Miramar, and past Miramar, you in Dade County. That's right there.
Yeah, I feel you. But
Hollywood got a bunch of Cubans, man. That's right across the street. Yeah, man. It was a good
spot. I mean, they should have been trying to build these Cubans up by having these fights over there.
Yeah.
I
was wondering.
Like Andy Cruz, you can have an Andy Cruz fight out there. Let's see how much interest he gets from that, But
I feel like for Cubans, them Cuban niggas, they all should be fighting there. Like, why is Miami, South Florida not the home base for all these fights? There's a bunch of Cubans out there that's gonna relate to his story.
I don't know. There might be a little bit of a backstory to that, but I have to look into it.
Especially for Ramirez. I understand if it was vegan Dow, he's a dark-skinned,
right.
So I get that.
That's the thing.
But with Ramirez is, he's the acceptable kind. Why don't they put him on down south all the time?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess they think about, building them up like that. But hey,
it's just like Richardson, Andre Berto, all these Haitian niggas, man. Like I'm only putting you in Miami or Montreal or something. That's it. Maybe in I'll do.
Well, maybe in they could put them in New York.
Yeah, you could put them in. Yeah, you could put them in Brooklyn. You could put them in Brooklyn. You could put them in Barclay. You could put them in Miami. You could put them in Montreal. And that's just for that. But
hey, Richardson Hitchens, Richardson Hitchens there, man. Why is he having this fight over in Las Vegas, man, in that new hotel, the new resort joint, man?
Put him in the Barclay, man. Probably put him in MSG though, or some shit though. Even the theater, even if it's the MSG theater, put him in there.
Yep, he could do that, but I don't know, man. I
don't be know what these promoters be doing with some of the places they be putting fighters. Sometimes I don't be understanding that shit, bro. Like
they'll be making good business sense, but hey,
got Keyshawn Davis fighting in Oklahoma for fuck why? For fuck like who?
Oh, this what was it? This joint that's gonna be in Corpus Christi? They're gonna be in Corpus Christi with Jared Anderson and Efe Jagba. They're having fights over there.
Why you gotta put these niggas in Texas for? Who the fuck know these niggas in Texas? Yeah, I don't be getting that shit. I don't be getting you gotta be you gotta be a Tank Davis type of nigga where they could comfortably just airdrop you anywhere and you're gonna do like 3 million in ticket sales. That's only the only business.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's a wild situation. But that joint, that card for April 13th or that Corpus Christi, it got some solid fighters on there too. Like Abdullah Mace is gonna be on that card. Coach Cesar's going to be on that card. Ruben Villa is going to be on that card too. So it's like,
so Jared Anderson and Abdullah Mason's on that card, and you didn't put that fight in Ohio?
Nope.
You're a fucking scrub, man. That old man, they need to send Bob Arum to the glue factory. Age is catching up to him.
Nah, I don't even think it's Bob Arum that's doing it anymore, man. I think it's who's the dude? Carl Moretti, and
you don't know what he's doing, man.
So
like okay, I understand that. I understand the agreement they had with ESPN to promote the NASCAR thing, so they put this nigga on Thursday. But why the T-Mobile? Why T-Mobile?
I don't know why
they could have got a smaller arena than that.
Yeah, they could have easily put that joint in a smaller arena and got much better, much better visual picture there for that Shakur Stevenson fight. But nope.
You set that nigga up, put that shit on T-Mobile, bro. You set him up, bro. Like what the fuck is De La Santa, a Dominican nigga in Las Vegas, bro? Like who's gonna watch that?
Yeah, that was a whole setup. But I'm glad I ain't go to that. I'm glad I ain't go to that fight, man. But
I'm mad I watched that fight 3 times.
But real quick on that Shakur Stevenson joint, want to give a quick shout out to Just Do Boxing. Just Do Boxing had just spoke with Shakur Stevenson, on his YouTube channel today. It was supposed to be yesterday, but it had a little thing rescheduled, so we had a little convo with Shakur Stevenson today. So if y'all can hit up Just Do Boxing, he has an interview up with Shakur Stevenson up there with him. But that being said, I'm about to get my grub on and everything like that. I'm about to roll out, so I'll catch y'all later. Like I said, I'll see what's up with the fight card on Wednesday. It's gonna be a very busy situation.
And then figure out so we could do that scorecard thing with Wilder.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. Yeah. With the box once I figure that out, I'll have it scheduled and I'll send y'all the details on that, and then we're gonna have that live viewing of it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll probably do it where I'll have a link or something or whatever it is, and we all watch it, and then we'll just go round by round and do it. So we'll catch y'all on the next one. Like I said, midweek report for Wednesday probably won't happen. I'll probably be out there at the Pro Box joint in Plant City, and then the next episode of the Boxing Source podcast next Sunday, March 17th. Y'all go ahead and catch that. But until then, I'm out, y'all. Peace.